Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Tad and this is Tad Reads Books and Stuff. Welcome my constant reader friends, all the people that have been watching my videos, thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, thank you for watching. I hope you find something enjoyable. Today it's just going to be a real quick video, just a little update, not much really going on. I am continuing with listening to The British Are Coming. Now, I'm only about a couple hours left. I've got like 100 and some pages left. Really cool, really loving it. Give you a little bit more information. Did you know that as many people died in the Revolutionary War or War for Independence, however you want to call it? Well, as many people died from smallpox during the war as died from actually fighting in the war. They don't know the exact numbers, of course. The records are hard, but pretty much the same amount. So what did they do? They had a smallpox inoculation. And what you do is you scrape off the pus from someone who has a nodule of someone who has smallpox, and you take that pus and you put it into a small cut in another person's body. Oftentimes they would just take a needle and scrape off the smallpox, the pus, and inject it underneath their fingernails with the needle. That's crazy. So of course people would get sick, and but not as sick to where they may die, as many did. Now, the army actually outlawed this practice because too many of the soldiers were doing it themselves. They would just find someone with smallpox, I guess, and scrape their pus and put it in their bodies to inoculate themselves. I don't blame them, they didn't want to die, but the problem was it still made you sick for a while. So at some times you may have, you know, your regiment or whatever may have 500 people, and upwards of 300 to 400 of them were sick and couldn't fight. So I thought that was crazy information, but learning all kinds of stuff with this book. All right, so what else? I did start From Hell, Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell. Now, I have read a lot of things with this. Let me see if I can open this up for you and you can see some of the artwork. So it's all in black and white and it's very stylized. They purposely, of course, were going for a specific type of style of this gritty artwork. And a lot of people really put off by it. A lot of people I've seen comment, you know, my 3-year-old could draw better than this. But there was a reason for it. Also, a lot of people don't like the writing because it's old English, British, Cockney, street language, and I guess it's hard for some people to read. I don't know. So far, I've just started. I haven't gotten very far in it, but I'm enjoying it. You know, I love my Alan Moore. Also, I've moved on to, this is now The Greater Good. This is, of course, Star Wars. It's a Thrawn novel, Thrawn Ascendancy, by Timothy Zahn. This is the second book in the series. I read the first book, Chaos Rising, earlier, and there's a third. Now this one here, this second book, it picks off right from the end of the first book. So there's no time differences or anything like that. Of course, many of the same characters and everything. So that's going pretty well. I haven't really read much of that yet, but you know, I really like the first book, so I'm sure I'm going to like this book. What do I really want to talk about is Haunting of Hill House. So I finished this finally. Let me tell you right now, right off the bat, it's probably my favorite book that I've read so far this year. This is really, really good. It's, of course, a gothic horror. You have this old house. You have ghosts. You have these characters that are trying to stay in the house and actually figure out if ghosts are real. And they're taking notes and stuff, but it really focuses on one character, Eleanor. And Eleanor is a young lady who was asked to come and be a part of this group of ghost hunters because she had experienced something when she was younger, some poltergeist activities when she was younger. And you can really see with this book, it's pretty much, is it ghosts or are these people creating this stuff mentally? Now, do ghosts only appear to people who are on some level or another, maybe having some mental health issues or are sensitive? Or so is it maybe just all in their head? Or is the house actually inhabited by spirits? Is the house evil? Can a house be evil? Or was it the people who lived in the house that were evil? But you know what? I don't usually go through and do any type of reading from a book, but I did want to read a section here. Let me get it for you. Let me just read this here for you. It kind of just shows the style of writing of Shirley Jackson, as well as, I don't know, for me it was just very atmospheric. I really liked it. It says, "No human eye can isolate the unhappy coincidence of line and place which suggests evil in the face of a house, and yet somehow a maniac juxtaposition, a badly turned angle, some chance meeting of roof and sky, turned Hill House into a place of despair, more frightening because the face of Hill House seemed awake with a watchfulness from the blank windows and the touch of glee in the eyebrow of a cornice. Almost any house caught unexpectedly or at an odd angle can turn a deeply humorous look on a watching person. Even a mischievous little chimney or a dormer, like a dimple, can catch up a beholder with a sense of fellowship. But a house arrogant and hating, never off guard, can only be evil. This house, which seems somehow to have formed itself, flying together into its own powerful pattern, under the hands of its builders, fitting itself into its own construction of lines and angles, reared its great head back against the sky, without concession of humanity. It was a house without kindness, never meant to be lived in, not a fit place for people, or for love, or for hope. Exorcism cannot alter the countenance of a house. Hill House would stay as it was until it was destroyed. I don't know, man. I read this book very slowly because the whole book is paragraphs and sentences like that just get under your skin and make it a little bit unsettling. Is it really, like, are there jump scares or monsters or anything like just evil murders or, blood and guts or anything? No, it's not. It's just all this uneasy feeling as you read, and you're drawn into this atmosphere of this house and these people, and how it slowly, I think, messes with their brains and makes them feel like they're a part of the house. They get, sometimes they're especially after some type of haunting happens, the next day they'll argue and fight like children with each other, but then they'll go run outside and frolic and play and lay around on the grass and tell stories, and they become almost like this family. So, of course, if you watch the TV show, I thought it was great, but a totally different. So you have Eleanor, you have Theo, and Theo is another young female. You have Luke, and Luke is actually a member of the family that owns Hill House. He one day will be the owner of Hill House. He's there to make sure nobody destroys the place. It's just, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Mrs. Dudley and Mr. Dudley are the caretakers, of course. Mrs. Dudley is very strict, but she's funny as hell. Dinner is at, lunch is at 10. I clean up at 11. And you better be done by 11 because she's cleaning up. She would not stay there in the house, of course, after it gets dark, because she's not stupid. She's gonna be scared her pants off. Oh my goodness, what a great novel. I can't say enough. I knew it was a good novel. Of course, everyone's heard of Hill House. Everyone has heard of the Shirley Jackson Award now for horror. But, Stephen King even writes in Danse Macabre that it's one of the top 5 horror novels ever written. Neil Gaiman says it's the scariest novel he's ever read. The New York Times named it as the greatest ghost story novel ever written. And I just took forever to read it. It was a book that was given to me for Christmas, that I said I would read all the books given to me in Christmas. So I notched another one off my list. I'm not going to finish that list, let's be honest. But it's one that if you haven't read, there's nothing wrong. I know everybody's reading, got to read the new hotness, the new fresh. Go back every once in a while, read some of these old books if you haven't read them. They're wonderful. I loved it. If you haven't read it, please read it. Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. It was freaking awesome. There's a short story in the end called The Summer People, and it was eerie as this one. You read that too. It's really weird about these people going to their cottage, and then when Memorial Day, everyone leaves, but they decide to stick around. That's all I'm going to say. Weird things happen. But get this book, read it, love it. It's going to be on my top 10 of the year, I'm sure. All right, guys. Hope that wasn't too long or too convoluted, but I just really wanted to talk about that book. All right. If you haven't, please like, subscribe. Of course, leave comments. I love them. I will be uploading this video, hopefully. I've been having horrible problems with my internet. I don't know what the heck's going on, but I'll see you next time. Peace out.